here today. It is May 3rd, and we are talking about how Jesus is the Good Shepherd. Before we dive into Jesus being the Good Shepherd, I want you to understand a few things about sheep. Sheep are not easy to take care of. Sheep have a tendency to wander off. They can't really fight the elements or their enemies, so if a wolf comes, a sheep doesn't really have anything to defend itself with. So sheep are kind of tricky animals to take care of, and that's why we have shepherds. Shepherds are people who dedicate their lives to taking care of sheep. Shepherds really don't take the night off. They don't hit a punch clock after work and go home and eat dinner. They stay with their sheep all the time. And so Jesus is teaching us today about how he is the Good Shepherd. He is the shepherd who helps take care of us. And so I'm going to give you a Bible verse that helps us understand and hear that when Jesus asked Peter to start taking care of the church, to actually start building the church, Jesus asked Peter in John 21:16 to tend to his flock, to take care of his sheep. And so here we have proof again that Jesus is calling us, all of us that go to church, all of us that don't go to church, part of his sheep, part of his flock. Okay? So I want you to remember that as we go through how Jesus is the Good Shepherd. Here we have a shepherd tending to his flock. His flock have been led by him into a safe pasture. And one of his sheep has wandered off, and this good shepherd will not give up until he finds his sheep. So he actually leaves the safety of his pasture and heads out into the wilderness to find his lost sheep. And we hear in Luke 15 Jesus say that he would give up the 99 in order to find that lost sheep. And we know that he loves us even when we make mistakes, when we sin, when we get lost from God. Jesus will search for us and find us and rejoice once we are found, because he loves us that much. So if you ever feel like you're lost and you're too far from God, know that Jesus is actively searching for you. So in Matthew 9, we hear about Jesus who is traveling around healing every type of sickness and disease. And we actually hear in the Bible, it says Jesus felt compassion or cared for or felt concern because they were sad and hopeless like a sheep without a shepherd. Jesus recognizes that we need him and we need his help. And so when things seem unfair or you feel very sad, please know that Jesus is there to help you with your pain, and he wants to hear from you and hear your prayers. So we talked about how sheep need a shepherd, and shepherds guide the sheep. They guide them back towards the green pastures. We have in John chapter 10, verse 3 says that the Good Shepherd actually knows each lamb by name. He knows each sheep by their own name. Jesus knows you. He wants to hear from you. He wants to hear your prayers because he knows everything about you. And because he knows you, he wants the best for you. And it says in John 10:10 that Jesus came so that we may have life abundantly. And abundantly means fully. That means we should live extraordinarily. We should enjoy life and know each other and care about each other because Jesus loves you that much. So as we move forward and we recognize that Jesus is our Good Shepherd, we also need to know that Jesus is with us throughout our everyday life. And in order for us to hear Jesus, we need to spend more time in prayer and in the Bible. And then we begin to recognize his direction in our lives through the Spirit. It says in John 10, it says, the sheep follow him because they know his voice. We want to live a life where we know Jesus' voice, where we hear what he is saying to us. And when we hear his voice, our life will be more full. And so I have kind of a comparison of what life is like with Jesus to what life is like without Jesus. And I am going to take this bottle and this balloon and I'm going to put it in this hot water. And this is what life is like with Jesus. Life becomes fuller. It becomes happier. We go closer to heaven. Do you see how the balloon rises up and we can rise above the struggles in this earth. But when we live life separated from Jesus, when we enter that coldness, our balloon deflates. It goes down. It's sad. And so when we live life closer to Jesus, we live life fully and we live it abundantly. And we live this life with Jesus as our good shepherd, and he is with us always. I hope you have a great week. I miss you. I will see you soon. Enjoy this beautiful sunshine, and I'll see you. Bye.